Welcome back. On January 23rd, 2019, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court struck down the household vehicle exclusion contained in Geico's motor vehicle insurance policies. And if you're wondering what this means and what I'm talking about, we're going to break it down for you. Dick Freeburn of Freeburn Hamilton is back to explain more about this case and what it means. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Amanda.
So we're discussing Gallagher versus Geico. What brought up this case?
Well, this is a case about something called automobile underinsured motorist coverage.
Okay.
It's important to know that in Pennsylvania, a person only needs to have $15,000 in liability coverage in order to be legal. That's not much. It hasn't changed since 1990. And what that means is that if you are seriously injured in an accident caused by somebody else's negligence, they might only have $15,000 to pay for your damages. So the way to protect yourself is to purchase something that's called underinsured motorist coverage. That pays you in the event that the other person is underinsured. Okay? And it's very important insurance because you could be seriously injured. And so you want to have as much underinsured motorist coverage as possible.
Is that something that's normally presented to someone shopping for insurance, or is it something you really have to seek out and ask for?
Well, it should be presented, and a person should be seeking it out as well. Okay? So, but you should know, and most people don't know that, that people are driving around with only $15,000 in coverage. So you want to have as much underinsured motorist coverage as possible. And under the law, what the law states is that your underinsured motorist limits is the amount of coverage on each automobile or motorcycle that you might have added together. That's called stacking. That's the law. Okay? But if an insurance company wants to limit a person to just the coverage on one vehicle, they have to get the person to sign a form that says, I waive that stacking. All right? Insurance companies, however, not just Geico, but all insurance companies in Pennsylvania have done an end around that provision by separating the cars into a separate policy. And then oftentimes it's motorcycles. And they'll say, well, the motorcycle's covered under a separate policy, and then they'll bury an exclusion in that policy that the person doesn't know about that says, oh, if you're injured while riding your motorcycle, you're only insured for the limit on the motorcycle. You don't get to stack. But they didn't get the signed waiver, and finally, Pennsylvania Supreme Court said no, that's not legal. And so people who had been purchasing and requesting stacked benefits, thinking they had stacked benefits for years, were being denied by all of the insurance companies, not just Geico. And then finally the Supreme Court on Wednesday said no more. You have to follow the law, insurance companies. And insurance companies, believe it or not, they don't follow the law all the time. Okay, surprise, surprise. So that's why it's important to speak with an attorney. Okay, and you need to have protection because insurance companies are not going to protect you. They are there for themselves. Okay, that's the lesson here. And that's what they were doing, is doing an illegal end around the system in order to deny people benefits that they requested and paid for and should have been entitled to. And they've been doing this for years, but there is a time limit. If you wanted to check on whether you were denied what you were entitled to, there's a time limit. So I urge anybody to contact their attorney or contact an attorney as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm wondering if somebody's sitting at home thinking, hey, does this apply to me? What should they do?
Call their attorney or call an attorney.
Yeah, and if they don't have one, call you.
And call us, 717-777-7777. But it's important for people to know these things. And it's important for people to speak with attorneys to make sure that they're protected. That's what we are really there for, we are for the people.
Looking forward, if someone wants to just double check, that's something you can also help with. You can review their current...
Absolutely. I, for no cost, if somebody were to call me and say, I would like to review my policy, I'll help them out. I'll review the policy. I would rather to make sure that the person has adequate insurance because when you need it, you really need it. So I want to make sure that people have it if they need it. All right.
So make sure that you get in touch. The number there on your screen as well as the address. We thank you for being with us and explaining all of this.
It's complicated, isn't it?
It's a little easier to understand when you talk it out. So Thank you again. And you stay with us. We'll be right back.